welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today is the 12th in my series of 12 gift ideas for the Christmas period, holiday period, other times of year. Just some nice gift ideas. If you've missed any, do subscribe and go back and have a look at them because they're all fun, all quite easy to achieve. And the ones that have subscribed, thank you so much. Your comments have been absolutely lovely and I'm so glad that you've enjoyed this second series that I've done. So today I thought we would finish on a Christmas cracker or a cracker box, because then it can hold what you want. So it's a roomy sized box, and if you want to, you can put a 1.5 inch square in there to hide the inside, because the ends are going to be open a bit. And what I've done on this end, I'll show you when I open it. I've actually made a little pull piece in there so that it hides it if you want to. So let me open the end that I've got the little pull tie on. So I've just tied it with some ribbon. You can use any ribbon you want. I will put the details of all of these down below. And it will then open up. And as I say, I've just put a little stopper in on the end of this one to just show you that you can do that if you want to. If not, you can just put what you want wrapped in tissue paper, which I've done. But it's a great size box and it will fit 2 of the Yankee Candle, the small Yankee Candle Christmas ones, well, any ones you want. So as you can see, it's quite a good sort of roomy size. I quite like wrapping things up in tissue paper. You could fit some nice jewellery, you could put a present of any sort, and then, as I say, just basically it will go inside like that. There's me pushing it in so that the tissue paper doesn't get in the way. But yeah, you can put it in quite nicely. So as you can see, it will fit quite comfortably 2 of those large candles. And then, as I say, you can tie it up afterwards. I'm not going to do that. And this little piece in here, if you wanted to do it on both ends, you can just pop that in, tie it round, and you've got a stopper on each end if you want. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. So let me show you the measurements and what we're going to do. I'm going to put this one out of the way for now. And you will need a piece of cardstock which measures... If you take a standard sheet, so your standard either A4 or whatever your standard sheet size is, and you're going to cut it down at 10 inches. And then whatever that size is, that's perfect for you. So mine is 8 1/4, but I know it's 8 1/2 inches. But as I say, you want it to be 10 inches in length. And we are going to take the scoreboard out. Very simple, easy scores. So it's not a complicated one at all, this one. So we need to, let me just make sure I'm in. Yes, you need to score it at, on the 10 inch side, score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. Then turn it round and you're going to score it at 1 inch, 1.5 inches and 2 inches. Rotate it. Score it at 1 inch, 1.5 inches and 2 inches. And that's your scoring. So as I say, very simple one to do. Then we are going to, let me put my scoreboard out of the way. We're just going to burnish all our score lines. So just fold them up. I'm doing it in white because it's easier for you to see. And also I really liked the white one. With the Feels Like Frost, the silver paper. So I thought that worked beautifully. But you can do it with designer series paper. You can do it with different coloured cardstock. Now we're going to fold the first score line on here, or the top one, in. And then we're going to fold it like a concertina. So we're going to fold the next one out. Score it, and then the next one in and score it. Okay, so on this one, the furthest one in folds in. So that sort of makes your box. The next one folds out. You can score it on the other side if you want to, if you want it folding exactly the right way on your score, but it's fairly easy to do. And then this one folds out like that. Okay, so you've then got something that does that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to fold the first one of these in like this, and you can see that you've got a 3 score lines here. So you're going to take a 1-inch punch and you're just going to line it up so that that center score line is in the middle, and you're going to take a small nip out. Now the nip is about, I would say, a third of the way down. Yes, about a third of the way down. Then we're going to fold it to the next line, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So just take it in, eyeball it, and give it a nip. Eyeball it, give it a nip. Do exactly the same, fold it down to the next one. Take it into that centerpiece, give it a nip, and give it a nip, and then fold it down onto the last one on the folds, and give it a nip, and give it a nip. I've got pieces flying all over the place at me. Okay, and then the piece at each end, we need to do exactly the same as well. So on this one, just line it up so you've got that center score line in there, and just give it a nip on each side. And we'll do the same to the other side. Like that. So what you've got is, you've got a rather nice sort of little oval shape. Well, I pick all my little pieces up that have flown all over the place. A little oval shape that comes in each one. And the 1-inch punch is absolutely perfect for this one. Okay, so now we can look at putting it together, and we can put the designer series paper on now. Now, the designer series paper I've chosen Feels Like Frost because I really love the patterning. And these pieces are, you need 4 of them that are 3 3/4 by 1 3/4, because the actual size is a 4 by 2. So we can put these on now. We need to work out which one we're going to fold over, because one of them is going to go underneath. So we want that one on the top. So we're going to do it on the first 4, because the other one is going to be tucked under. So let's just put some glue in on here and just pop these ones in. Line them up as best you can. I've cut those pieces a little bit short, never mind. Don't think I cut them at 3 3/4, but you want a 1/4 of an inch mat. But as long as it's the same all the way along, it doesn't really matter a huge amount. But you can line them up quite nicely, and I really like this silver paper. I think it looks really nice for sort of elegant Christmas cards. Just silver and white, I think, is really rather pretty. So that one in on there. And that one in on there. Wait, my glue's just slid. One of the nice things about wet glue, you do get some wiggle room, but if you haven't got it laid down straight and you try and smooth it out, you end up with wiggle bits. Okay, so we then need we've got 8 little pieces which measure. This is 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. So 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And we need 8 of those because they are going to go onto our side pieces. I'm just going to put those down. As I say, if you're doing it in Designer Series paper, you obviously wouldn't have to do your matting, but you'd need to use a 12 by 12 sheet to do it. Doing it this way means that you can use the 6 by 6 sheets and just cut your... It takes 1 full 6 by 6 sheet and just a 3/4 of an inch sliver off of a second sheet because you need 8 of these, the tops and the bottoms, to go on. Right, let's turn it over and do the other side. I'll just pop those in. I think they look very classic. You could also do them as wedding gifts or birthday gifts in a cracker just by changing up the colour scheme. Although I was thinking that if it didn't have the snowflakes on it, even with the snowflakes, it would make a lovely winter wedding package for or cracker for a rather nice gift. This one on, which is our last one on here. Okay, so we've got all of those in like that. Then we need to just fold it so that this, whoops, make sure it's the right way round. So this piece is going to be glued onto this piece here, and we need to glue all the way along the inside of here. So we need to glue these bits at the end, this piece along on here, this piece along on the end here, and these little pieces in the center as well. So the whole of this strip needs to be glued down because that is going to adhere to this. So we need to take it across, make sure it's lined up. We can lie it flat to do that. Just want to make sure that it's all lined up nicely. And again, your wet glue allows you just that extra little bit of wiggle room. So if you're making a whole batch of them, you can actually make them flat and then just tie them up when it comes. So if you're making them for the Christmas table or for a party or something, make a whole pile of them flat and then you can put them up when you want. Okay, so now we just need to just push those in together just a little bit, and we're going to tie those up with some ribbon. So whatever ribbon of your choice, I chose on this one some of the, let's bring this one back out here again because I don't need to tie that up again. So this one I chose the lovely, it's the Spotty. I will put the link down below because I can't quite remember what it's called, but it's I thought it was very nice because it's quite subtle, so it doesn't detract, and yet it's very pretty. So you could put any ribbon you want. So let me talk about this tiny little piece to go in either end if you wanted to. The inside measurement is 1 1/4 inches. So all I did was to take 1 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4, which is how you make your box. So let me just take that measurement for you. So 1 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. So 2.5 inch square. Score it at 1/4 inch on each side and then turn it into a little box. And then all I did was to put punch hole in the centre and thread a piece of ribbon through. And as I say, you can tuck that in on the bottom like that and then tie it together. And you've got just a little pull thing that you can pull out if you want to. I find that, as I say, I tend to fill my crackers with quite large presents anyway that aren't going to fall out of the hole. And then what I tend to do is, as I say, wrap them in tissue paper. So you've got the tissue paper showing, but you haven't got the box. So a lovely project to finish my series. And I will be doing some more different things, as I always do, going back to maybe doing some cards for a little while. But thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.